Welcome back to Wrestling Uncensored. The WWE enters the Bell Center live Friday, September 6th, and one of the men that will be participating that night, Mr. Monday Night, the whole effing show, joins me right now, Mr. Rob Van Dam. Rob, how does it feel to be back in the WWE?
Man, it feels just as good as I look. Let me put it that way. Surprising a lot of people because for some reason they thought that with all the time that passed that I was going to get older or something. But as you can see, that hasn't happened.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't. And, I was in Philadelphia for your return at Money in the Bank, a huge ovation there. What was that like to make your comeback in front of such a warm reception in that Philly crowd?
Oh, that was just like the perfect combination of everything. I knew that the fans of WWE were going to be very excited to see me come back, and they'd been running the promotional trailers on the WWE shows for several weeks, so the expectations were high, and I knew that I was going to deliver, and to be in a Money in the Bank match, first off, was just perfect for me because I prefer not just a regular match with regular rules, but I want the ladders, chairs if you got them. I'm all over that. That's what I'm all about. Climbing up high, jumping off stuff, and showing how tough I am. And to do it in Philadelphia, there could have been no better place to bring me back at. So all about timing. That was great timing. I'm glad I came back when I did, and that crowd in Philadelphia just went crazy. Loved the energy, and still living off that momentum.
Yeah, it was awesome. The crowd was very loud for you, and you definitely delivered in that match. An awesome performance, awesome match. You've been back now for about a month. You're traveling the road. You've been in the business for a long time, but you've been away from the WWE now for a few years. What's it like to kind of get back to the grueling schedule that is the WWE?
Well, it's a lot better for me to endure it this time around than it was before, for several reasons. The whole vibration of the dressing room is different than it was then. There's a lot of wrestlers that aren't here anymore that were here back then. Also, my status is much different. When I was here before, there was several wrestlers that were above me on the ladder of priority. There was still NWO, Degeneration X, Batista, The Rock, Hogan and Flair were still wrestling. There was so many guys. None of those guys are here anymore, so that puts me right up at the top. So as far as leverage goes and seniority goes, boom, I got that. Also on a personal level, I'm at a different point in my life now than I was then. Back in 2001 when I came to WWE, I had just recently gotten married, and I was fortunate enough to have a really long honeymoon that lasted several years. So my priorities back then and just really, that they were different. That made it harder for me to be away from home, to be on the road. Now I'm more well-rounded, more experienced, and for a lot of reasons, it's just better. It's better inside the dressing room, outside the dressing room, the fan response, the energy I get from them, the business end of it all. So, it's still a schedule that most people would find too challenging and think we're crazy for doing it. But it's something that I find right now that I'm able to handle it, and let's just say I'm more trained for it now.
And how long do you see yourself doing it? How long have you signed up for?
Well, I don't know how long I'll be doing this. You could have asked me 10 years ago or 20 years ago how long I'd be wrestling, and I would have told you then that I don't know also. I figure that life will tell me when it's time to change my energies towards something else. I do have other stuff that I like to do that this consuming schedule keeps me distracted from. It keeps me too busy and consumes me, so I can't put energy into other stuff. But that's all part of it. And while I'm here, I'm just committed to being here.
Now,
we'll see how long it goes.
Yeah, and hopefully it goes several more years. I'd love to see you wrestling well into your 50s, RVD. you came back, Money in the Bank, main event at Philadelphia. SummerSlam, you were on the pre-show against Dean Ambrose. A great match, but we didn't see you, in kind of a featured role on the pay-per-view. Were you happy with that? Were you disappointed with that? What was your feeling?
Well, for me, to be honest, it's more about the business end. As long as they take care of me, they can do what they want with me during the show. You know what I mean? So it gives the fans something to complain about. I wasn't announced as being on the card until just a week before when I won that Battle Royal. So I read a lot of fans on Twitter saying, what the hell, RVD's not even a SummerSlam? And then I went from there to, what the hell, RVD and Dean Ambrose are on the pre-show for free? So, and I get that. A lot of times they say stuff so I don't have to say it. But it didn't bother me to the extent that it would the fans. I have a job to do, and I expect to be compensated for the job, and that's really what it's about. It would have been nice to be in a better spot. It'd be nice to main event every pay-per-view if it was up to me.